Abstinence can be a powerful vehicle to nurture the true love between persons. That's it. Abstinence can be a powerful vehicle to nurture the true love between persons. I was going to be subtle, more subtle about that, but I think it's better to be direct. Once more, abstinence between two people who are growing love between them can be a really powerful vehicle to nurture the true love between persons. Why? Simply because you love persons. That's it. Abstinence can be a powerful vehicle to nurture the true love between persons because you love persons. You don't love sexual objects. You use sexual objects. It's a key and crucial difference. Makes you think. Makes you think. Is there an objective difference between having sex too soon, waiting for later, or even waiting for marriage? Or is it just a matter of personality? It may not be about just the meaning that you give to sex itself. Obviously, if you're Catholic or Christian or any other religion that regards sexual self-giving as part of personal self-giving, love, then that's a completely different matter. But it's not how I want to approach this discussion. I want to say that actually abstinence can be a powerful vehicle to nurture the true love between persons. That assertion has a different character because it's something positive. And I want to convey that why that is the case. I must touch upon the concepts of tenderness and sensuality. What is tenderness? What is sensuality? John Paul II says that tenderness is a mutual co-feeling that expresses and communicates concern for the other. It has its interior source, emphasis in the fact that it is an interior source, in benevolence and devotion to the other person. What is tenderness then? It is something that is interior, one's own, but it is intrinsic to it to want to communicate it, because at the end it's a concern for the other. So you want to communicate your concern for the other. What is an active manifestation of tenderness, for example? Holding hands. What do you feel when you hold hands with a person? Hugging. Many forms of kissing that express tenderness. That is, express concern for the other. That is, express devotion and benevolence to the other. Now, not every active manifestation of tenderness may have its interior source in tenderness, and that is crucial because it makes you think. There are perhaps active manifestations of tenderness that may be looking to satisfy something else that is not a disinterested interest and concern for the other. What is sensuality? I think we can all agree and understand that there may be some active manifestations of tenderness that may have a different meaning. And obviously what is important here is to ask yourself what you're looking for when you find yourself in this context, when you're calling with someone. Calling feels really good, liberates a lot of endorphins. Do you feel that tenderness that is real? Or soon enough you're looking for something else to satisfy something else? When you kiss someone in the forehead, that's a very tender gesture. But I'm not sure if it is for all of us, or actually, what do you want? You know what you want? Because the idea of John Paul II is that the same manifestation, the same form of interaction could have different meanings and could acquire different meanings. And that's the thing. Because if you are trying to grow a lasting relationship, you're trying to grow tenderness that is real. That takes time. That doesn't grow right away. But it takes self-mastery, a certain restraint. And abstinence can be useful. Because if you want to communicate tenderness, and you want to make sure, perhaps both of you, that those gestures mean tenderness and continue to mean tenderness and grow tenderness, then with abstinence you can avoid the fact that those active manifestations of tenderness become something else, that instead of expressing and communicating devotion and benevolence to the other that is true, may just be pushing towards the use of the other person as an object. Sensuality is delightful, but I believe that sensuality that is grounded in tenderness is better. Sensuality that consumes tenderness is tragic. I think that the old saying, the old joke, I thought it meant something to you. I thought it meant something to you. When that happens, that can only be due to be ignorant in the education of love, and in particular, in the difference between tenderness and sensuality. It is disastrous when individuals are not on the same page, and communication might help, but tenderness doesn't grow overnight. Perhaps one last comment. I remember John Paul II saying something like, he who doesn't see this that was the comment, he who doesn't see this will be unable to see that there may be a different form of interaction between a woman and a man. And I add, a different form of interaction that might as well be as meaningful and fulfilling. A different form of interaction that actually gets the priorities straight and right. Because what are the priorities? A good time, an outlet of sexual pleasure, or a relationship growing the lasting love between persons. As I've said before, I realized that experience is overrated and helpless if it remains ignorant in the education of love. Think of that. Cheers.